Well, I'm Alan Dale from Gale Force Winds. It's an absolute pleasure to be here in Toronto, talking to the folks from coast to coast to coast to coast in this country that are making a difference in our education sector. I'm here with the National Association of Career Colleges and the Career Colleges of Ontario. Both come together because they know that the sharing of ideas strengthens everybody and every conversation. And I want to tell you, the people that I've spoken to date, they are truly sharing ideas to make a difference and make this place a better place for all. It's great to be in conversation with folks, but especially you, sir. So why don't you introduce yourself, tell us what you do.
Yep, my name is Craig Tucker. I'm president of Keyin College in St. John's, Newfoundland. I'm right across the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. We've got campuses right throughout, and I'm also the vice chair of the National Association of Career Colleges, so play a role in the leadership of NACC and where we're going and working with its member groups across the country.
So you got a few oars in the water there, as they say, from where we come from.
Yep.
Tell me now, in your role as NACC, what are you excited about as you grow NACC and sort of navigate that ship?
Well, I think, you know, the role that NACC is playing is what's exciting to me. We have a mandate, really, to try and unify regulated colleges across Canada. You know, when we have one voice, we're stronger together, and that's sort of the theme of this conference this weekend. But it's vitally important that we establish what basis we're coming together for, how we can move our you know, academic agenda forward, the things we can do within our colleges to teach better programs, to have better curriculum design, to have better, you know, more stringent regulatory support out of the group across the country. So our focus really is about bringing everyone together and making sure we're putting a better foot forward nationwide.
You know, and it's growing an ecosystem too, right? It's bringing in new partnerships and new people into the conversation. Talk to me about that, bringing people in.
Yeah, I think one of the things that, you know, when I first started on this educational journey, out of the communications world that I was in before, I was looking to see what leaders are out there. And when I came to the first NACC conference, I started to see, you know, go to workshops, you listen to others that have been there before you, and you're learning, right? And I think that's a lot of it. But what I wasn't expecting, that was a pleasant surprise for me, was the partnerships that were coming in. So a lot of the sponsors and partners, a lot of the products and services that we use in our classrooms today, in our administrative roles, academic roles, came out of NACC. So as a result of me coming to these conferences and exhibitions, I get to partner with organizations across North America that I didn't know. So, you know, it's about, as I always say, and you've heard me say this before, looking around the corner from the corner. It's what's next, where do we go? And I'm always trying to get ahead of that and see what the future looks like and be prepared for it. And so when you see some of the organizations that come in as exhibitors or partners, really makes a difference. And we're using, I think today, 8 different partners that came from NACC events that we sought out and are now embedded inside our systems and process for Keyin's point of view.
You know, there's not many sort of organizations, associations across our country that span the entire country and reach so deep into the country. The ability to share ideas amongst that larger group is a very powerful thing.
It is indeed, and in fact, NACC itself, we've partnered as well with our U.S. counterparts, so CQ, and we have a you know, basically looking at a North American play now that we can expand that even further. But notionally, you know, there's a lot of regulated colleges that are looking for advice and counsel and how to do things better. So they're looking to this organization to be that leader, right? And I think, you know, the next couple of days are really all about putting that foot forward, showing them where they need to go, giving advice and counsel to new members that are engaged in the process. So it needs the voice, it needs one voice, and we work on behalf of the provincial associations. They're vital to the success of our organization. They lift all the boats up, and I think it's important that we have that voice, but at the same time provide leadership and give some vision for where education and academia can go in this country.
You know, it's not often that you walk into a room where you see governments, industry and academia working so effectively together for the benefit of all. You see that here. You're listening to government. You're listening to the directions that they're going, provincially and federally. You're listening to your industry partners right down to the skills trades. What do we need next in HVAC? What's innovating there, right? Everything up to healthcare and all of the pieces in between. Talk to me about the importance of the collaboration between those three big stakeholders.
Well, I think, as a microcosm of that conversation, when I look to Newfoundland and Labrador, where we reside and work from, if we don't, I've often said this, if we live on a rock in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean, if we don't work together, there's something wrong with us. And really, the student comes to us on a journey of hope. They want to change their careers, change their trajectory, and they're looking to us to help do that. But if we don't do that collaboratively, if we don't work with our universities and colleges and government officials and anybody that's in that process and prepare the student to the best of our abilities, we're going to miss out, and that student's going to miss out. And so you have to be open-minded to come together and say, look, we all have challenges. There's things that we can continue to improve upon, but at the end of the day, working collaboratively opens those doors, opens those conversations. And that's really the next couple of days here is really what that's all about, is looking to find solutions and things that we can look to build a better future for our students.
It must be amazing to be a part of a group of people that are making such an impact. Whether you're in Saskatoon, you're in Surrey,
Yep.
you're in St. John's, you're making an impact in people's lives. Many people's lives are being transformed
Yep.
because of the experience that you're giving them. What does it feel like to be in that conversation?
Yeah, I guess sometimes you don't think of it in that context, but it's certainly appreciate it. But yeah, we're making a difference. I mean, we're building Canada's workforce, and that doesn't go lightly. At the end of the day, in our space, we're health and tech, right? So we're training for the innovators of the future in terms of the innovation technology side of things. We're training administration staff in the healthcare system, or we're training, the whole nursing vocation from, a home support worker right through to an LPN. And recently, international nurses that are coming in, we're doing upskilling with them. So the sky's the limit in terms of where we can go, but it is exciting, and it is. You sit back and say, you know what, we've grown our organization, we've grown the amount of students inside our organization, and we've grown as an organization nationally. But it's about helping to build that future workforce, and that's pretty cool when you start to think about that we're making a difference nationwide.
Whether it's from building houses to our healthcare system, to emergency rooms across our country, the regulated career colleges touch all of those pieces.
We do.
But I would argue still a little bit misunderstood, like in the broader concept of Canadians. You talk about career colleges, they're not quite sure what that is. In an elevator pitch, what would you tell Canadians about career colleges?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think the brand of career colleges needs to be polished a bit more in that context, and I think that's the mandate of this organization, and what we're trying to do is really bring home that point to people so they understand it. In our case, we have 44,000 graduates in Newfoundland and Labrador. That's a lot. That's a lot of employees that are out there working and have gone on to own companies and be senior managers and organizations. But if you don't understand that there's a lot of boots on the ground that get started in our colleges and are really the future workforce, we play a role in that. And that's not to say that public colleges and public universities also don't play a role. We all have our part of the ecosystem. For far too long, it's been an us versus they mentality. I don't like that. I think it's a we. And I think when you start to lean in together and work together and say, look, these are areas that our skills are really strong in. You've got your skills that you're strong in. Let's work together here and ladder students up. Education should be a lifelong learning journey. And we don't have that as our mentality nationwide. We need to fix that. But the opportunity's there for our graduates to go on and become whatever they want to become. And I think when we start to open those doors to working together, I think is really when we're going to see this take off in that context. But you look at the amount of colleges across Canada the regulated colleges that do the work, it's significant, and we make a massive impact on the economy, on the jobs that are out there, and the workforce, building the workforce of tomorrow.
I want to take it back down a little bit. Let's get back into Newfoundland here for a second, if we could.
I'd love to.
Because we had a big, broad look at sort of Canada and even North America, as you so rightly point out there. But, Keyin College making a big difference. And Keyin College is not just a job for you, it's family business, right?
Is, yeah.
And it's been talked around the kitchen table since you were quite small.
Yep.
And it takes a lot of people to make that college run. I've had the pleasure to meet a lot of those people. over the last number of years. Tell me what your team means to you. What does that Keyin team mean to you?
Yeah, I think, we've got a conference the end of this month. We're bringing 125 of our people together to spend 3 days, really again about planning for the future. How do we get better every time? And so, this notion of kind of working together, focusing on the future, and we've got all kinds of speakers coming in and strat planning sessions with our people for that reason, professional development. This is an organization that's been around 44 years. It was started by my mom 44 years ago. And she said at the time, I asked, why did you start this college? And she said, because there was a better way to do things. She was doing a lot of training in the tech space at the time, early tech days. And I said, you know what, that's a really great point. And so our conference is called Finding a Better Way. And so it's notionally, we challenge all of our people to find a better way to do things, whether it's a better way to teach in the classroom, whether it's a better piece of technology to use to help our students, whatever it is, find a better way. And so it means a lot to me because it's been in our family for a long time. And my current business partner and I, Steve Taylor, he's got that same vision, same passion for make sure we put the student at the epicenter of everything we do. And when you do that, take care of the students will take care of everything else. And that's kind of our mantra, and it's worked very well. We're in a tremendous growth mode, and we're making a huge difference to the labor force in Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yeah. You've surrounded yourself by really good people, but more importantly, you listen to them when they come up with the ideas.
100%. Right? And it's it's interesting up here. We have 8 employees that were flying up from Newfoundland and Labrador to be a part of this conference. Mm-hmm. We have to invest in our team, and we believe in that. So not only are we having a conference at the end of the month, but they're coming to this one because I want them to see what else is out there. What other products can we use? What other tools are out there? What do some of the professional development training as part of this conference. So the team is everything, and frankly, we just believe in them to the core, and we've got a wonderful group we've assembled. And yeah, if we don't listen to them, that's on us. That's that's our stupidity. So, but we do listen to them, and I think it's important to understand they're helping us to build the college of the future.
All this stuff doesn't happen without a steady hand on the tiller, so thank you very much for the leadership that you're providing, not only to the education sector in Newfoundland and Labrador, but across this entire country with your role at NACC. We certainly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Alan. Good seeing you again.
Too.
Okay.